Hey, welcome back, creators. So I want to talk to you guys about a concept that's really been rattling around in my brain the last month or so, and a shift to my content strategy that I've made in my own real estate YouTube channel that I have seen some pretty good results with. And what that shift is well, the concept is this concept of quality versus quantity, right? And I see it as a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, you can make a channel where you produce a lot of quantity, a lot of videos. You can literally sit down and record 4 or 5 videos on your phone a day and upload those to YouTube. That's kind of extreme end of the spectrum. And you can get a high quantity of videos, but they're not exactly the best quality videos. On the other end of the spectrum, you could put in a lot of effort into your videos, a lot of thought, planning it out, researching it, scripting it, editing it, creating 10 different thumbnail variations, and create a high quality video. And the challenge with that, though, is that you can't, we're kind of limited on time. You can only do so many videos like that. And there are some creators that upload literally once a month, right? Mark Rover is a great example of that. He makes 12 videos a year. He spends 1 entire month planning, editing, creating a video, and he does 1 video a month. The truth, though, is that there's not many YouTubers who have a lot of success with that model, right? And the ones that have had success, they've been around for a long time. They've had a lot of viral videos. And in my opinion, it's going to take that model is much harder. The truth is that on that spectrum of quantity versus quality, you really want to be somewhere in the middle, right? And there isn't really a set point that you want to be at, right? You can be a little bit closer to this end of the spectrum, a little bit closer to this end of the spectrum. But if you get too far to either end of those spectrums, it gets much, much more difficult. And you really want to be in that middle somewhere. And so the shift in my personal content strategy has been that on the spectrum, I used to be about here, right? I used to put in a lot of effort into my videos, researching, scripting, planning, editing. I spent way too much time editing, adding fancy graphics and animations. And I've moved on the spectrum from here to about here, right? Nothing too extreme. I didn't move all the way to one end or all the way to the other end, just from here to about here. And so what I mean by that is that I've been making more videos, but putting in less time into creating those videos. And I've actually had a lot of success with that. That's actually really helped my channel grow. And so today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple hacks that I've used in order to help me achieve that, and talk to you a little bit more about quantity versus quality. So a couple of hacks that let's see, we got a question here. Lately, I've been so busy, I've gotten away from my weekly videos. Luckily, when you create stuff that is more evergreen, it still makes the phone ring. So yeah, I mean, that is true. I have a lot of videos that rank in search, and it's a topic that people are looking for and interested in all year round. So they are still getting a lot of views. So let's talk about how do you create high quality videos. So quality really comes into 2 different forms. You have production quality, and then you have content quality. And production quality is actually pretty easy. And this is one of the easiest hacks that you can use in order to create a high quantity of high quality videos. And that is for you guys to set up a little studio just like this, right? I know that I can sit down here and I've got my key light here, I've got my fill light here, I've got my microphone, I've got my tripod with my camera right here, I've got my stand, I've got my background. I know that my quality is going to be on point. And because I put in this effort up front, now I've got this studio set up. I can just sit on, turn on the camera, and start recording. So I've gotten to a point where I can produce high production quality videos, like that. I can start knocking them out. And it's because I put a lot of thought and energy into creating a little studio space. And so that's one hack right there in order to create higher production quality videos, is invest the money, right? Put some effort and some thoughts into it. And it's actually partially why I like filming indoors so much, because when I film indoors, I know that my audio is going to be on point, my lighting is going to be on point, my background is going to be on point. You go out and you film outdoors, and you got these harsh lights, and creating unflattering shadows. If you got somebody cutting the grass over there, you've got airplanes flying over, you got car noise, your production quality kind of goes down quite a bit. And for me personally, I use a lot of the outdoor shots as B-roll without any audio attached to them. And I like doing all my audio work, anything where you hear my voice in here in my studio, just so I know my audio is going to be on point. So that's kind of one hack right there in order to create a higher production quality video, is just get everything on point once, set it up, and so you can just sit down and hit that record button. And that's one way that I'm making more content lately. Now, the other side of this is going to be the content quality. And so this one, it gets a little tricky. If you're talking about a topic, you want to talk about something that you really know pretty well, right? You do need to know this stuff. So like as an example, one thing that I've been doing lately is, instead of scripting out every single word in my video, I've been making much more impromptu videos where I'm just kind of winging it. And I'm creating a bullet point script rather than scripting out every single word. And I just have a series of topics that I know that I want to talk about in the video. So this live stream, for example, mentally I just have 4 or 5 points that I want to talk about. And now I can come on here and I can create some good content, really with just a bullet point script in my mind. And so that's just one thing that you guys may want to consider is, if your channel's struggling, try for a month just mixing it up a little bit and making more content at a slightly lower quality, I guess. I mean, I kind of hate saying that, but it's working pretty well for me. I was editing a video today. It's a 20-minute long video. I have a whole bunch of like images in those videos, and I was thinking like, I could add a bunch of fancy graphics and animations and transitions for all these images in my video. But then, I was like, is it really going to add that much more value to the video? And I don't think so. I think that when you're editing a video, you reach a point of diminishing returns, where if you spend an extra hour adding graphics and animations to the videos, it's not really going to help or increase the value that the user is getting out of that video. And, great example of this is, if you guys watch Graham Stephan, a lot of you guys probably do, he edits all his videos on iMovie, which is like free software that comes with a Mac. And if you watch his videos, there's really not that much like high quality, high production quality. He's not doing a lot of fancy editing or anything like that. It's all pretty basic. He has some images that come on, some B-roll he gets from some stock website, some very basic transitions. There's nothing really fancy, and he's pumping out 2 to 3 videos a week. If he would have only pump out 1 video a week, but it has a lot more fancy animations and graphics, would that really help his channel grow? I don't think so. I think so he's kind of found that sweet spot on that spectrum of content quality versus quantity. Same thing with Meet Kevin, who I know a lot of you guys watch as well. He's gone way over on this side where he does virtually no editing. He pretty much just does live streams like this, where he kind of records his rambling thoughts and then just uploads them without any editing whatsoever. So he's gone way over here, and he's pumping out 2 to 3 videos a day. But his content quality is still very high. He's been doing this so long, and he's really analytical and pretty smart that he can just spout this stuff off the top of his head. He doesn't need to script this stuff out. And so because of that, because he knows his subject matter, he can just kind of go off of some mental bullet points, and his content quality is still pretty good, even though the editing is not really that interesting. And there's another important skill that you need to learn as a YouTuber, and that's how to keep somebody's attention with literally just the words coming out of your mouth, right? A lot of people that get into the space and they rely too heavily on B-roll and graphics and animations and all this fancy editing, but it's kind of a mirage, right? There's no real substance to the video. They're just kind of spouting off some generic stuff. A skill that you want to develop is being able to keep the audience's attention with just your words. I recently uploaded a video that I recorded all in one take with 0 graphics, animations, or anything. And the video is actually doing really well. It's up to like 15,000 views. I uploaded maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was able to keep the audience's attention using just the words coming out of my mouth. And that's the real skill that you want to develop. And that goes back to really knowing the topic that you're talking about in your videos. So we got another comment here where it says, I'm noticing that with you, Christina and Jeremy, you guys go deep on timely relative topics, and people just eat it up because you know what you're talking about, and you can't find that long format on local TV, and no one reads newspaper. Yeah, so this is kind of a trend that we've noticed. Meet Kevin, Graham, Stephan. They've been making a lot of like, hey, breaking news, market crash, the end of the real estate market, end of the stock market. And so I've been doing a lot of that stuff as well. Jeremy Knight's been doing that. He's crushing it with his channel. He just got up to 3,000 subscribers, which is fantastic for such a hyper-local channel. Christina's been doing a lot of collaborations with other agents, really just talking about current events and the current stock market. And yeah, I mean, we're in really interesting times right now. And a lot of people, they do want answers to those questions. And even though there's none out there. And so that is something else that I've been focusing on with my content strategies, making more like not making evergreen content, actually making more breaking news content. And the truth is that content may not be relevant 12 months from now. 12 months from now, it may not be getting as many views. And going back to your content strategy, that really is like two different types of content. There you have evergreen content, and then you have, more currently relevant content that you can make. And I've been focusing more on that lately. I still want to make that evergreen content. I'm still going to put a lot more of that in there. But right now, I still have a lot of these ideas of like breaking news that kind of creates that sense of urgency with my audience. Another strategy that Christina is really doing well in terms of high quality versus quantity, she's been doing a lot more live streams. And she's been bringing on other agents. And what she's been doing with them is, one, you're making sure she has a custom thumbnail and a really catchy title, and then kind of keeping that live stream on a specific topic rather than just making it a Q&A live stream. This live stream right here, I'm focusing on quality versus quantity. I don't really want to talk about too much in other topics. So Christina's been doing that, and some of her live streams are just doing really well. And it's literally just taken her, that 1 hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, because she has to create the thumbnail. And so that's something else that I'm probably going to be working more into my content strategy moving forward as well, is maybe at least once a week, just do some kind of live stream talking about a current event or talking with another agent to get somebody else's perspective. But I think that's about all I got for you guys today. But I want you guys to really consider, if you're struggling, you're not making much progress in your channel, look at where you're at in that spectrum. If you're way over here and you're putting a lot of content out, but it's pretty low quality, try moving over a little bit more. If you're way over here where I used to be, where I put a lot of effort into every single video, but I'm not putting out that many videos, try moving over there a little bit more. Just try to find a different location on that spectrum and see if that works for you. And if you guys don't know yet, I do have some free training exclusively for real estate agents on how to use YouTube. Head on over to youtubeleadgen.com, go over to free stuff. I got a free mini course all about YouTube for real estate agents. I go pretty deep into some topics and provide, I think, a lot of value in that channel. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you on the next one.